beautiful people. Jamie Schuster here in the beautiful Sedona, here with Patrick Hayes, one of my brothers. Met him a long time, not that long ago, at a Hawaiian retreat that the beautiful partner Bridget, Kirk and Sandra had organised, so connected on another level when we were over there, to be honest, brother. So welcome.
Oh, man. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
No
Honored
problems.
to be here, man.
No problems, brother. Would you tell the people a little bit about your background, where you come from, where you grew up, and what you do now?
Sure. So, yeah, I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I lived in the city. I also lived in basically all over the Bay Area. I lived in Berkeley, I lived in Oakland, I lived in Marin County, and I grew up listening to hip hop music. I was really into gangster rap when I was a kid, when I was younger. When I was younger than that, I played a lot of sports. Like, I really liked basketball, baseball, football, soccer. I had a more or less like typical American childhood. I was diagnosed with ADD, ADHD actually, when I was a young kid, and I was put on Adderall at about 11 or 12 years old. And that was, needless to say, I had some like emotional issues before that, and so that's why I got involved with the psychiatric realm. And after that, it kind of disabled my ability to function. I was quite depressed as a young child, and then was put on Adderall and Zoloft as a young child. And then when I eventually quit Adderall and Zoloft around 18 or 19 years old, I didn't know how to function without something to use. So I ended up playing out a long treacherous line of drug addiction, and I quit at about 28 years old. And so I work with people with drug addiction today, and I had kind of like you could say like spiritual awakening that really drew my interest to esoteric sciences. So I work now in drug recovery, esoteric science, and I have a YouTube channel and work with people like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And it takes a lot to really become self-aware of what made you the person that you are today. So I acknowledge you for the courage to doing the work that needs to be done, and to help others as well through your addiction, and to help other addicts and things like that. I'm sure you're doing beautiful work.
Thank you.
So for my journey at this stage, especially through the United States, a lot of questions have been coming up. What does it mean to be a man? What is masculine? So my brother, I love you very much, by the way. For you, what does it be? What does it mean to be a man? Or what does masculine mean to you?
Well, when I hear that question, it makes me think of several things. One of the things that I think of is the idea of active masculine and passive masculine.
That's good.
And so how I would define active masculine is the penetrating energy. It is I am a man, and I'm here, and I'm making my voice heard, and this is what I believe, this is what I stand for, and this is my agenda, this is what I'm doing. And the ability to step forward and express yourself in that way with that kind of penetrating energy, right? That's active masculine. And then passive masculine is the ability to hold space for other people to voice their opinion or express themselves. So it would be the ability to, in a group of people, if there was somebody that wasn't being heard, to be able to say, like, hey, clear the space and make it available for this other person to speak. And that would be, a passive masculine. The other thing I think of when I think of masculinity is I think of a book called King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. Are you familiar with it?
No, I'm not.
Okay. It's Jungian psychology. It was written by Jungian psychologists. And it talks about the four archetypes, masculine archetypes, of the king, the warrior, the magician, and the lover. And what I thought was really fascinating about this understanding was that when a child is developing, they have all these different role models that they can look to idolize or try to be like. And each of these four archetypes has the balanced archetype, which would be the, say, divine version of the king, warrior, magician, lover. And then there's the two poles on either side of that.
Yep.
So, for instance, the warrior would be the balanced warrior, right?
Yep.
Or the polarized side of warrior would be the bully, right? Or the wimp, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of men, as they're growing up in the world today, don't really have, say, a balanced archetype to align to or try to be like. And so I know, like, when I was a child, it was like there were bullies and wimps, and there wasn't, like, you know, the protector or like the warrior. Now, what a warrior would do, the balanced warrior, is it would protect the wimp from the bully, right?
Yep.
It would show how to use the masculine power, the warrior masculine power, in a righteous way, right? And this goes for all the different archetypes. So you have, you know, the king, and then there's the tyrant, or the the person that is, you know, the man that's incapable of ruling or leading, right? So you have the tyrant or the incapable leader, right? And for the lover, it would be like the womanizer, or the man that can't talk to a girl, right? And the magician would be like the person that that uses their wizardry to manipulate people.
Deception.
Right. Or the other side of that would be like the dummy that like can't like get anything right? So king, warrior, magician, lover, it's like finding that central piece, right? And then realizing that, like, men, you know, when they're children, like boys, they're looking for these archetypes. And if they don't have the balanced archetype to learn from, then they oftentimes just have to pick from what they have to choose from. And they find themselves playing perverted archetypes instead of stepping into the balanced archetype. So for me, balanced masculine is a balanced king, warrior, magician, lover. And he's somebody that has the capacity to be both passive masculine and hold the space for other people, and then active masculine.
When required.
When required, right? But then also knows the difference, right? Of when it's time to do that and when it's time to, sit back. So, yeah, that's how I'd answer that.
That is very, very insightful, brother. I've learned a lot from that, and, you know, I can tell it's right. I always get goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
There's a certain energy that, I don't know what it is or anything, but whenever something feels right, I get goosebumps. Yeah. So
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, it's that body awareness.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I think on an energetic level, you've got such a beautiful energy as well, brother. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, anything else you'd like to give to any of the brothers suffering out there and not coping with their life circumstances at the moment? Any message you'd like to give to them?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's a difficult world that we live in. And, you know, as I was just describing, it's like many of us didn't really have the right role models, or we weren't taught how to be okay with ourselves or be okay with life. And, you know, anybody that feels that way might feel like they can't talk about it because they might have people around them to talk to. But you're not alone in it. There's a lot of people, in fact, the majority of people have these kinds of issues, and, you know, a lot of people don't know how to communicate these issues, or they don't feel comfortable communicating them with others. And if you're one of these people, it's like you're not alone. And you know, it's like I said, it's a difficult world to be in, but what makes life worth living is the fact that we can come together and that we can heal from these things. Life can be beautiful. And, you know, what it takes for it to be beautiful for you is for you to make the decision that I'm going to make my life beautiful, and be willing to go out and explore how you can do that. And even though it might feel like there's no one to talk to or no one to reach out to, I mean, if you're watching this video, there is someone to talk to and reach out to. I mean, this man is doing beautiful work, helping people that, you know, have issues or feel suicidal, or, you know, have lack confidence or don't know how to express themselves. And there's a whole community of people that are available to serve people that are in that position. So if you feel like you're in that position, the empowered thing to do is to ask for help. And there's nothing to be ashamed of when asking for help. In fact, you talk about like a masculine quality. I think that it's a masculine, powerful quality to be able to admit when you need help. Because, you know, they say this is the difference between the like the adolescent warrior that's not quite the graduated warrior yet, is he thinks he can fight everyone and win every battle, but he doesn't know how to pick and choose his battles correctly, because he's all, you know, like all balls, you know, or they say it, like all balls and no brain yet, right? He hasn't learned yet how to be honest with himself about where, you know, where his shortcomings are. But to graduate to the actual warrior is when you're honest with yourself about when you need help and when you don't know what to do, and you know that you can go seek that help and you figure out where to find that help. And that is a masculine thing to do. So for the men that feel like, you know, they don't want to ask for help because that makes them like feel weak or something, it's like, actually it's extremely powerful of you to ask for help when you need it. So resources are there. So you got it.
You got it. Modi Order, brother.
Yeah. What was that? Modi Order?
Modi Order.
Modi Order.
Life Force Awakened.
Modi Order.
Modi Order.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man. For sure.